Let's talk a little bit about the negatives. What has been a typical criticism that either of you have received about the entire process? What do you hear frequently?
It's a combination of, how could I, post that, first of all, of a video of my kid, but it's like they don't get that it still would have happened if I hadn't have, videotaped it. I was taking him to the dentist. I was doing a legitimate thing, and he was not drugged up. He was medical, anesthesia, so it was semantics, but it does make a lot of difference to me. But or to us, criticism about that, but also the exploitation of it, exploiting their kids for that. But and I would get defensive, admittedly, because even though I didn't do anything wrong, as a parent, you are sensitive to that, hypersensitive to that, and so I did get a little defensive, and I'll admit that it stung a little, even though I I was confident that it didn't do anything wrong. But as the months and years went by, I started to realize that those people that were the most vocal about it and critical about it were just really trying to bring attention to themselves for the most part, without any sort of context or interviewing us or asking us any questions. We found the people that had legitimate concerns were the ones that would contact us directly, privately, and we would have an email conversation back and forth, and 100% of the time they were fine with my explanation of it. But so we just quickly learned to just not let it get to me, and it's just part of what it's all about. But that's just such a small part about the whole experience.
Laney, would you say the same?
Yeah, definitely. I would say that the negative aspect has been very small. And I mean, I didn't do anything other than post it to Flickr and take the photo. But I do get some people saying that I should make it private, or and at this point it just He's so shy too. He doesn't like any kind of attention, as you can see. So yeah, I think the negative side has been very, very minor. I mean, I've only gotten a couple of people say that I'm exploiting him or something like that. But I know that I'm not, so I don't care.
Yeah. What do you think is the difference between exploitation and the way that other people think of it and what you guys are doing? Can you articulate what's the difference?
Toddlers and tiaras is exploitation. Right. We are not.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, I totally agree. I just took a picture of my kid. I took lots of pictures of him documenting his childhood, and I still do, and I don't see how that could be exploitation. I post it to my Facebook, and I post it to Flickr, and because some people took it, and I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore. It's just a fun picture, and people like it. I'm glad people like it so much, and he's a fun kid. He's really got a great personality. It's not just, I mean, that picture is great, but it really is kind of his personality. And I mean, I didn't do anything to exploit him, and I don't know. There's nothing negative about this.
As parents, though, you guys are both pretty tech savvy, internet savvy. We were talking earlier that most of our kids' friends' parents don't know what the heck Flickr is, don't have Facebook accounts, don't know what tagging is, wouldn't know how to upload a YouTube video if they tried. I mean, you guys are definitely outliers in terms of parents who know what they're doing with images of their kids.
I'm not that old.
No, you're not that old. God, I hope not. So, what do you think they could? Those folks, if they're going to do things like this, take pictures. What advice would you have to them if they're new to understanding internet culture and nerds who come to ROFLcon? Like, what do they need to know about this crowd?
Well, my personal experience, I'll be 44 this year, and for whatever reason, my friends that I hang around with are a little bit older, you know, starting to get close to 50, and those two idiots, they couldn't do anything, you know, even if they wanted to. So I would just tell them, just don't. So they leave all that kind of stuff up to me, and it is funny, it's just that short gap, you know, 6 years, you know, just of understanding. And I'm sure it's the same thing with me, with somebody, you know, younger. It's just they just don't get it, you know. Try explaining to somebody, you know what I do for a living, you know, and you know how this is pretty much a full-time job. You know, the other half is being, you know, stay-at-home dad. So it does make it a little bit awkward, you know, from my experience.
Yeah.
Do you have advice for parents who?
I mean, I don't have any advice for how to be a meme or something.
No. What they should know before posting pictures of their kids on the internet.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. If I wouldn't post, like, you know, naked pictures of him now, but you know, when he was a baby, I just think they're baby pictures, and I don't know. I would just think.
As we were
be smart about it.
Yeah, no, we were talking before, and I was saying that I'm a new parent, and a lot of people I know were surprised that I was tweeting pictures of my daughter and putting up pictures on Facebook pretty regularly, and they're surprised that I would be so open about it. Right. I think if they met you guys and knew your stories, they'd be even more shocked.
I think that's kind of ignorance about, I mean, I don't know what they think could happen by posting a picture or sharing. It's just a baby picture, and it was a funny picture, and you know, and I have a lot of funny pictures of him that I put up all the time. So I don't know. I don't know what they think could happen. I don't think someone's going to come to my house and steal him because I posted that picture. I mean, I don't know.
I think that, sorry.
No, I just said they'd have a fight.
Yeah, I think there's a tendency to, you know, overreact to what could happen if your kid is, you know, posted out there. I realize that what we see on the news and, you know, what we read in the, well, I guess you don't read that in the paper anymore, but, you know, watch on look on the internet, it's so shocking, and it is sad, and it's, you know, a cautious tale. But if you look past that and you look at the statistics and how society is, you know, we really are safer than we've ever been in, you know, in history. So, you know, I think you just have to take it with a grain of salt. Yes, you need to be smart about it and cautious, but I think there's a slight, you know, overreaction to, you know, posting photos of, you know, your kids and that sort of thing. It's just kind of, just calm down just a little bit, you know. But I think we were talking at breakfast more about the, and maybe you can expand on this a little bit, because it was such a good point, is the way that the websites, you know, Flickr and YouTube and Facebook, how they changed the, you know, the privacy settings and everything in the middle of the game. And so I don't know about you guys, but I'm busy enough raising 2 kids and working, and, you know, I don't have time to keep up with all those things that change, you know, seems like on a weekly basis, you know, of what's public and what's private and that sort of thing. So to me, that's a little bit more of a concern from what we talked about. But even that, I'm just like, it's not a huge deal.
David, can you talk about what your friends have said about this? Have you had anybody jealous of you or been mean to you as a result of the video?
At first, people would ask me questions a lot and say what happened, why did your dad take the video and stuff, and they would ask really weird questions and stuff. And
like what? Do you remember?
Like, no, not all the time, but I remember thinking, why you asked that question? Mm-hmm. They were really random, but now everybody just thinks of me as a regular classmate or regular 5th grader, and just as their friend.
Can you tell us about the time that you were coming out of the museum in D.C. you were talking about with us this morning?
Yeah.
What happened there?
At Washington, D.C., we were coming out of a museum, and this whole class was like on a field trip or something, and they and one of them recognized me, and then the whole class like came on top of me and got all over and all in my face and stuff, and I felt really overwhelmed, and I couldn't even hear myself think. It was really weird.
And what happened? Did you say something, or did your dad help you, or what happened?
No, I just well, my dad. Yeah, my dad couldn't even see me, but he did try to help, but they were all over me, like I said, but.
Yeah, on that was certainly a learning point for me, is that even though that was positive and those kids were happy to see him and stuff, I realized later that I needed to be, in that case, I did need to be more careful and to make sure that at least I was, kind of standing there beside him, and that he wasn't, off on his own. So that was kind of an eye-opening. But that was really the only time that's ever happened, to that degree. Most of the time, it's just, single, one person or something like that. But it was just, that was the first time where we kind of got, overwhelmed. But they were very nice. They were just very excited. So you can imagine that was kind of scary for a 10-year-old. So,
Sammy, have you ever been scared of anybody who recognized you?
When I was famous, I know what I was scared about. I went in the haunted house, but I didn't.
In the haunted house? Is that what you said?
Say that one more time.
When I was in the haunted house, but I didn't because I was scared in the.
You were scared in the haunted house?
Yeah, and then I was at the fair, and then I saw lots of animals, and
You saw lots of animals at the fair. Were you scared of the animals?
I wasn't scared, but they were just nice, and then I just feed them.
And you feed them?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you fed them?
Yeah.
What?
I feed them carrots and stuff, and then that's why when I was scared in the haunted house, and that was it.
Good. David, have you ever been to a haunted house? Were you scared in a haunted house?
I wasn't scared.
You weren't scared? No. William, have you ever been scared at a haunted house? No. No.